Welcome back. This is History Unmuted with Adam. I am interviewing Mario Johnson. He is running for City Council in Tulsa, District 1. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine. And yourself?
I'm doing awesome. So I wanted to bring him on, tell us a little bit about himself, why he's running, the district he's running in, and I got some questions for him. So let's get into it. Mario, tell us about yourself, um,
Okay.
your
Go ahead.
background, and why you're running.
Okay. Well, I'm Mareo Johnson, and I am a Tulsa native, born and raised for the most of my life. I went to a couple
Hmm.
of places, look, small towns, a brief moment, Beggs, Oklahoma, and Bristol, Oklahoma,
Hmm. Hmm.
when I was a kid, just real fast, temporarily and briefly, and back to Tulsa. So, yeah, most of my life. So in Tulsa, Oklahoma, born and
Hmm.
raised. As a matter of fact, the majority of that time in Tulsa, of course, it's been District 1. So the majority of my life, I've lived in District 1.
Okay.
I had I've experienced a lot growing up. That's why I feel that I am suitable and I can relate. I'm very relatable to the district,
Hmm.
of that nature because of my past experiences. I did travel down a wrong road briefly, and turned my life around. That's why the motto of my campaign is I became the change to bring the change. Yeah,
I
so
like that.
thank you. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
Adam. So for the most part, I turned everything around. Then got into a lot of community work, talking to children, youth development, talking about how important it is to stay out of gangs, and out of prison, stay in school, those type of things. So just a lot of that I've been involved in. I would say for the past 16, going on 17 years, that's just what I've been doing nonstop. When I turned it around, I said I'm going to do all that I can to be a solution and to put into the community instead of being a problem and tearing down the community. And
Yeah.
for the yeah, so yeah, so that's a lot of somewhat about me. And if there's any questions, Adam, that you would like to ask concerning other things about me that I may didn't cover.
Of course. So you spent a decade building infrastructure in North Tulsa, Black Lives Matter Tulsa, the NAACPA, community organizing. So what does that work require a city council seat now?
Oh
And why
yeah, so
can't
a lot of things. Just to iterate real quick, that I've been a part of. Um,
Mhm.
uh, it all shares some type of connection to being a productive and effective and successful city councilor. I,
Mhm.
I serve on the sales tax overview committee,
Mhm.
and in my seventh year, I'm a mayor appointee, by the way. So the last mayor appointed me to the City of Tulsa Sales Tax Overview Committee. And
Mhm.
what we do with that is, what we do there is we oversee $100 million a year in capital improvement projects, and we track the spending cost of taxpayer money. We basically, the overseers of the city sales tax
Yeah.
revenue, and that's city government. So that gives me experience.
Mhm.
As being a city councilor.
Yeah.
Um, we give reports to the city council once a month. We have
Mhm.
subcommittee meetings where we meet with different departments of the city. For an example, like Tulsa Police Department, the fire
Mhm.
department. So yeah, so we're all involved in public safety, economic development, the parks. It covers pretty much the whole city, everything that goes on in the city
Yeah.
and that the city has. And then when we talk about NAACP, serving in different offices, different roles there. I was once
Mhm.
the legal redress, where I would take the complaints of people that putting in complaints concerning whether if it was racial discrimination, police
Mhm.
harassment, a lot of things. So all those the complaints, I handled those complaints as the legal redress chair. And so
Mm,
being a city councilor, that also entails, working with your constituents with
mhm.
complaints.
Yeah.
Because that's what a city councilor, one of the duties and roles of a city councilor is to look into the issues, try to resolve the issues of their constituents in their district. And I've dealt with some pretty tough complaints dealing with NAACP. And then I also have served as vice president and then president as of now. But since I'm running for public office, I had to temporarily relinquish the office, and then the
Yeah, I
vice
saw that
president.
today.
Oh, you saw that? Okay, and the vice
Yeah.
president will fulfill the duties, but not be the president, but operate as president in the absence of me. And so, yeah, so that basically entails working with his constituents,
Hmm.
complaints, issues, listening is so important.
Hmm.
So that is a skill that a person have to be able to listen to
Hmm.
the complaints of the people, whether if you agree, whether if you don't, whether if you feel like you know what's best or not, or whatever the case may be. It's so important to listen and listen to resolve the issue. That's the point of listening, is to have results
Hmm.
for those people or that person. And so serving in a lot of roles, volunteering with a lot of nonprofit organizations throughout the years, whether if it's youth, whether if it's education, being a part of YPNG. I was one of the board of directors, and to emerge with the higher education component. And I was a program instructor as well as one of the board of directors. And we,
Hmm.
families that were struggling, sending their kids to college, finding resources. We help them find scholarships to whether if it's any kind of post secondary education. So that was focusing on youth and education, advocating in those aspects. So I can say that um, every aspect of improving the life of people, all people in general, I have been in those roles and have volunteered, have served as a public servant to the people for many years.
So you are challenging someone that's been in that seat since 2016 and has a documented reform record. And like you're saying that you want to change as well. What's the actual argument for the change this district needs, and what's the incumbent not doing correctly in your eyes?
Okay, yeah. So in my eyes, there is not enough money going into youth programs, going and investing in our youth. There's not enough,
Hmm.
and there can never be too much. But
Hmm.
I feel very strongly that there is a lack uh, going into that, as far as money, as far as support from a local government level. When we talk about city council, I feel that me being elected, I would definitely make that a priority to invest in youth, because I feel if we're not investing in our youth, we're not investing in our future, because the youth
Yeah.
is our future. One day we would need, the youth, those people, to help us, to stand for us, to speak for us when we can't speak, to stand for us when we can't stand, to be there for us and support us when we need it the most. And if we don't direct them, if we don't teach them, if we don't bring them up and we don't equip them, then we're basically disregarding and neglecting our own future. So I
Yeah.
feel that is so very important, and it's not it has not been enough of that. And like I said, I mean, I'm city council, I would definitely make sure that monies come, and
Hmm.
money is going to these programs and being able to support youth, whether youth counselors, mentors in schools, nonprofit organizations, and I know that it would take money and not a small piece of money, but we can find a lot of money to turn dirt. We can find millions and millions of dollars for other stuff. So we can do the same. We can find millions and millions of dollars to invest in our future. So yeah, it hasn't been enough of that, and I can express
Yeah.
that enough. And then also, voters can trust me. And what I
Hmm.
mean by that, for an example, our current leadership, District One leadership, is been a few times have tried to move money that has been voted on by the people that has been earmarked for a certain project, certain projects. And when we are in a climate now when voting rights is in danger,
Hmm.
that is not a good example to set. Basically saying, okay, this is a voter approved project, voter approved money towards the project, and
Hmm.
then someone come and want to change and pull the money from a voter approved project and try to move it somewhere else, and that's not good. And that has happened a couple of times before. But me as city councilor, I'm going to go back and I'm going to have, if possible, have that money that has been moved, that voters have voted for, that I know for a fact has been moved. I'm going to try to have that reallocated back to where it's supposed to be. Now, most
Yeah.
recently, money was the councilor tried to move money that voters approved, and I'm glad that it didn't. That the other councilors didn't vote yes to that because they all would have been a big mistake, and that would have been wrong. So voters can trust me that
Yeah.
whatever they vote for money to go, that's where it will go. And as I serve on the City of Tulsa Sales Tax Overview Committee, that is one of our duties. That is one of our roles to make sure that that
Money
we're
goes where it's supposed to go.
money goes where it's supposed to go, and where voters vote for that money to go, that's where it goes. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
trusted on the sale tax overview committee, and I can be trusted as city councilor when it comes to the voters.
yeah. So you said I became to change to bring the change. If you are elected, you have eight other people. So one of the big ch changes you want to do is youth investments. So let's talk about money. Can you walk me through your donor base? Who's funding this campaign?
Well, it's a grassroots campaign.
Hmm.
So it's really the people. Like so far, my donors been family and some friends. There may be more donations and more donors here soon after
Yeah.
filing, which deadline is on the 10th. Sometimes people wait to after filing to donate and things like that.
Hmm.
Up to this point, it's really been family, and like I say, my campaign, is a true grassroots campaign. Just like I've, started, or I can say enhanced movements as far as in Tulsa, when it came to Black Lives Matter Tulsa chapter, being a founder of that and being able to, well, let me put it this way. I'm very, I'm very familiar and I'm not a stranger to grassroots organizing.
Nice.
So this campaign is what it is. It's a grassroots
Hmm.
campaign, and I love it.
Okay. Will you commit on record to rejecting money from real estate developer PACs, hospital system PACs, and Tulsa Regional Chamber PAC and police and union PACs?
You say,
Reject
will I
those.
reject those
Essentially, I'm asking, would you reject PAC money from lobbying groups?
lobbying groups?
Yeah.
I don't know. The you say regional chamber?
Yeah, Tulsa Regional Chamber, the police union PACs, like a real estate developer PACs.
Hmm. You know what? I can't say if I will reject them
Hmm.
or accept them. I know
Is
it
it
would.
one of those depends who's donating, if they have like
Yeah,
good
it
intentions or not?
depends. And it depends on it depends on why. Uh, for
Hmm.
instance, for instance, okay, I'm one of my things is public safety. That's matter of
Yeah.
fact, that's number one on my list is public safety. And in public safety, it deals with a lot of things. It's not just police; it's all kinds of things. But police and community relations is a big part because that's one of the biggest issues that we face in our community is Tulsa in Tulsa is police and community relations. So will I take money from one of those groups? I don't know if the money is because of uh, my goal of improving police and community relations, then yes.
Okay.
Now, if it's to have any type of control over
Hmm.
advocacy, dealing, standing for the community against wrongdoings when it comes to police officers and things like that, then no, I can't take it. So
Yeah.
it would definitely have to be an understanding, a meeting before any money or donation is taken to say, hey,
Mhm.
you know, this money doesn't mean that I owe favors. What it means to me is that you are supporting my initiative to improve community and police relations, that we can work together in doing that.
Mhm.
And I would sincerely hope that that would be the case, that sincerely working together to better community and police relations. So, like, let's say Tulsa Regional Chamber, which deal with businesses. Okay, so one of the things on my platform, it is supporting and finding incentives for Black-owned businesses and small
Mhm.
business as well in the community. So if that donation is based on support of my initiative to improve uh, and have incentives for small businesses and Black-owned businesses, then yes, I will. I wouldn't have a problem with receiving the donation. But if the donation is to control in any kind of way, then I would have to turn the donations down. So
Yeah.
so so to sum it all up, if donations come from anyone, and if those donations are for the support of my initiatives and believe in the initiatives, then yes, I will take those donations. But if it's for some type of control or something of that nature, then I would have to turn the donation down.
Yeah. So essentially, you'd be skeptical until proven that they have legitimate and correct intentions.
Which I believe that the Tulsa Regional Chamber is a good group, and I believe that they're trying to do some things. They have a thing called the Mosaic Chamber. It's the Afro
Mhm.
American arm of the Tulsa Regional Chamber, and I noticed they do good work. They do good work. I've attended some of the meetings on Zoom. I've talked with the guy who runs the Mosaic Chamber. He's an Afro American guy, um, and so I have it's a lot of potential, and I believe in the Mosaic arm of the chamber as well. So, and then when it comes to TPD, I can say that the new chief, I've sat down and met with him because I'm on the city of Tulsa sales tax overview committee. So I'm in
Mhm.
in those rooms sometimes with, like I said, those
Mhm.
people that deal with public safety, whether if it's the fire department, police department, and so on, parks department, et cetera, streets department. Um, the chief is he's a good man, and I believe that I could work with the chief concerning community and police relations.
Mhm.
The previous chief, who
Yep.
was our first Black African American chief,
Mhm.
we was in some talks about these listening sessions that we was going to start. That I brought the idea to him, and I was going to moderate these meetings. And so I want to pick that back up with the new chief when elected. I say when. When
Mhm.
elected, I would like to pick that back up with the new chief. But yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, and I feel very positive about the future of District One, the future of Tulsa. Me being elected, like I say, I became the change to bring the change. I will bring some fresh, new ideas and to create results and transformative change in District One, and I believe that also will also help the whole city, as a whole.
So, speaking of policing, you founded BLM Tulsa in 2016. You were there the night of Terrence Crutcher verdict came down, and the trial got a civilian oversight board with a real subpoena power. But that vote got killed 3-5. If you're on city council and something like that comes up again, what would your strategy be? And what did the person that is in the office now didn't do correctly?
You say far as a oversight,
Yeah.
police oversight
Mm-hmm.
board.
Yeah.
Um, well, first, what I would do is I know at some point in time the current counselor was married to a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that there was a conflict of interest
Mm-hmm.
there, and that the when it came to those type of things like police relations, community, we didn't really have a voice on the city council, and no vote.
Mm-hmm.
So when it came to community and police type of relations concerning the city council, our city councilor would have to recuse herself. So that has been a handicap for District One, which is predominantly Black community.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to police issues, that has been, I mean, we've been crippled in that area. So I can imagine that that may hold some weight when it comes to that. So me on the city councilor, there's no conflict when it comes to TPD with me, and so I will have a vote in those matters and those issues concerning that. An oversight board, because that's one of the things as BLM founder. So like, well, in 2016 we was just forming the group,
Mm-hmm.
but and we formed it later in 2016, and then we didn't incorporate it until like 2020, as far as being a official nonprofit, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a city oversight review board. I never been against. I was pushing for that. Matter of fact, I talked to at that time it was a deputy chief some years ago. Now that deputy chief is now administrative chief of the TPD now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said I, I have some working relationships during my advocacy and in ongoing advocacy with members of the Tulsa Police Department, seeing me out
Yeah.
there in the streets, seeing me out there marching, protesting, and those
Mm-hmm.
type of things. And so they know I'm sincere. They know where my heart is at. So I believe also when it comes to the oversight review board, things like that. I'm pretty sure that I can sit down and talk with the administrative chief of TPD and see what we can work out and we can do and have the support of the TPD or members of the TPD, so to speak. So that's what I would do. Um, I would have some real, true sit down dialogues with TPD, with the community, instead of it being a us against them type of a situation. I would direct it more into, hey, we are working together to come up with solutions that will improve the lives of not only the people in District One, but also the lives of those that are serving, protecting, and what they are sworn in to do.
Okay. You written about wanting more black officers and more community policy. How do you pursue that without becoming a substitute for civil? Do you first off, do you support a civilian oversight as well? And is that a substitute for civilian oversight? Is community policing and more having more black officers in your community?
Yes, I believe community policing is a really good way to go. And having more Afro Americans in the district where it's served, I believe, would help a lot.
Mm,
I know that I've had that talk with TPD before years ago, and it was basically, well, it just doesn't happen that way. Pretty much, certain people have seniority. They've been on the force for a certain amount of time, so they can choose where they go, things like that. And uh, so basically, I, I would I would like to, as city council, sit down and have that conversation about now. Okay, how can we work this out to where we can have more diverse officers in District One? I know it has been a problem of recruitment with TBD as far as Afro Americans and some minorities as well, as far as
mm,
even coming on to the force. So they have told me about that, about how it's really a low percentage of minorities. That's I believe since them conversations, I believe the percentage went up slightly, but it's
mm,
still a low percentage. So that's another
yeah,
thing that we would have to look into when we talk about having more African American officers in the predominantly Afro American community. Then
yeah.
we would have to definitely find ways that more African American people, men and women, join join the force.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into housing. Tulsa just started developing a $47 million voter approved housing fund through the Tulsa Housing Impact Fund. What do you want to do with that money if you're elected? And with that, tenant protections, do you think tenant protections need to be included in that fund?
Okay, first question was what I would like to see go towards the fund. I mean, the fund go towards the funding.
Yeah, and the second question was, would you want tenant protections for the people that live in those developments? Do you want protections for those people
Oh
included
yeah,
in the fund?
including what?
Included in the fund that would you want requirements for the fund to have protections for the people that live in those areas that will be built?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Definitely as city council, I would definitely have to be in that process, especially in District One, for sure. And I'm pretty sure that would be. And then also, yes, there I would definitely will want protections
Mm,
for the people. Yes, definitely, because protections is important,
yeah.
and we know how sometimes things can happen.
Mm.
And so yeah, so we definitely have to have some protection set up with that initiative for sure when it comes to the housing.
Okay. What's
But
your
is that
position on,
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, so yeah. What's your position on rent stabilization? Oklahoma state law limits it. What's your strategy on a city level to protect renters?
The renters. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely for protection of renters as well as those that's renting.
Yeah.
I mean landlords and the renters. I meant to say, uh, yeah, because sometimes people can be renting and they could be done all kind of I mean different ways. I mean so that's I'm definitely an advocate and supporter of renters protections as well, for sure.
Okay. Greenwood is being redeveloped. There is pushes for black female developers and architects on those projects. What does the community control of developers look like to you, and who gets to define that community?
Well, I do believe that it needs to be a little bit more diversified
Hmm.
when it comes to developers, when it comes to bids, contracts, when it comes to all of those things that deals with building in our community. And so I would say that there have been a small percentage of minorities when it comes to developing, when it comes to getting bids for projects, construction, and things of that sort. So I definitely will be pushing the needle in a very diplomatic, professional manner
Hmm.
to increase, develop, minority developers,
Hmm.
uh, so minority businesses getting contracts and things like that. Definitely for sure.
District 1 is very diverse, and there is a growing Latino population along with the white and black population. Does that change your housing policy since the community's changed a little bit since it's been a
Uh,
historically black area?
no, that wouldn't change. That wouldn't change. And because, matter of fact, my platform is about involving all people in District One,
Hmm.
concerning the issues concerning what their issues are. Because
Okay.
and I believe that's been a lack to this point from leadership, not really being inclusive of all people in District One, and that's one of the things that I'm definitely doing. Is so none of those things change, as far as protections, as far as advocacy, as far as development, as far as minority contractors it goes, etc. It won't change. And matter of fact, that's one of the things that I ask the constituents, non-black. Hey, what can I do as a city councilor to improve your living in District One, in your life, in your family? It may not. I mean, that their issue may be totally different than Afro American in living in that district issue, but it's my concern, and it should be, my objective to make sure that whatever that issue is, that I do what I need to do and all that I can to solve that issue for an Hispanic, for a white person, black person, Asian person, if they're in the district, um, then that's my job as a city councilor, because I look at it more from a servant uh, perspective, a servanthood perspective, is that, hey, I'm here to work for the people and basically to give the people what they need and what they want, if it's feasible, and if it's not out the ordinary. And if it is something that's out the ordinary, and I know that it's a wreck waiting to happen, then I will say no, that's not the way to go, and I would. But then it would be it would be it would be on me to prove that, to show them, hey, this is why I say this. This is why this is not the right way to go. Um, and so, yeah, so basically, to sum it all up, everyone in District One uh, is a constituent of mine, and I want to improve their life as well. So,
Hmm.
yeah, whatever they need, I'm gonna advocate for it. Um, it could be a pothole in the street. It could be needing uh, a stop sign or stop light, whatever the situation. A speed
Hmm.
bump might be, if that person is white, black, yellow, green, or purple. Then, hey, I'm going to do my job and do the best I can to
Okay.
make their issue go away.
All right. District 1 residents are mo overwhelmingly working class. What does the city council power have over labor? Like actual power over labor look like to you? And do you support the new bill, the state question for a minimum wage increase? And do you support or are you against the right to work state? I know you can't change that as city council, but I kind of like to see where you stand on the right to work as well.
Yeah. Um, as far as the labor laws go, city council don't have a lot of weight in that. Um, but I am for raising minimum wage.
Hmm.
I'm also adamant and passionate about everything that has to do with all areas of life, whether it's labor, whether if it's education, because just like education, city councilors really can't make decisions when it comes to education, but we can use our voice. We can use our like our thoughts. We can use our influence and things like that when it comes to those things. So yeah. So when we talk about you know raising minimum wage, yes, I believe that we definitely need to raise minimum wage for
Mhm.
sure. Because when a lot of things go up, when prices go up for whatever reasons that is, then if we don't raise minimum wage, stuff like that, then that creates some awkward situations in living for our city, for our residents, for our community. When gas prices are going up, but then the wages on the job is not. Then now what we're creating this level of uncertainty and almost creating um, a future of poverty for more people
Mhm.
when we need to be working to raise those people that's in poverty out of poverty, not letting more people go into poverty. So those some of the things when we raise minimum wage, and it's when we see that there's a time and that it's important when everything else around us is going up, food prices, like I said, gas prices, I mean everything going up. I mean, so we definitely have to raise minimum wage and the right to work. I believe that people have that right.
Yeah. So then I kind of been on a council for about 10 years. She supposed things and they got killed, and she's delivered on other things. If you do get elected, what does the next 10 years look like for a Representative Johnson? What gets
Um,
built, and what do you think you can win?
what gets built? Oh, yeah, so yeah, economic development, more
Mm-hmm.
jobs for sure. More jobs is what I see me being elected. And what I see with more jobs, more businesses in the community is more sales tax revenue that's going into the city,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure that District 1 gets its rightful share of those sales tax revenue so things can continually to be built and used by those dollars. Um, I also see more entrepreneurship because, of course, with business come that entrepreneurship, and uh, when we have that sense of entrepreneurship and people being entrepreneurs, then there's a certain perception of life and outlook. You want to make sure that everybody respects each other. The
Mm-hmm.
property, your property, and let me say this. So public safety, like I said, is number one on my list. So that's a very important component when we talk about uh, building businesses, more jobs, economic development as a whole, all these things. If that public safety component is not there, then we're at risk for failing or not reaching the full potential, put it that way, when it comes to economic development and things like that, because people have to feel safe to even want to put a business in a community or in an area. People have to feel safe if they want to even go shopping in a certain area, thinking they may be robbed or they may be carjacked or whatever the fear may be. We want to remove all that fear where people feel safe to shop, feel safe to be an entrepreneur, feel safe to have a business, and then that's how growth take place. And then also, what I see me as city councilor, that spreading the money uh, throughout the community. And what I mean by that is there's nonprofits that are doing magnificent and great work that just need some funding to continue or to be more efficient, more effective, or to cover more ground or whatever it may be. That I see growth doing that. And what I mean, instead of like a certain amount of people, few people, getting the money that's coming down the pipeline or that's being available instead of getting my hands on it and a few people around me getting their hands on it. I will want to spread that funding throughout organizations in the community because then, like I said before, that's when true growth take place when there are people helping more people. And then you help more people to help more people. Then them people help more people. And then what we see now is a growth now. But if I was to just help myself and a few around me, and there's no growth in that. We'll look out and see other nonprofits can't even stay in business. Small businesses going out of business, and that's not any growth in that. That's kind of productive of growth. So me as city councilor, I would change that. And that will be an initiative that I will take charge of and spearhead is making sure that there is equal opportunity uh, for for funding when it comes to District One. Public safety, and another thing is a lit up district because there's not enough lighting in the district. And when we talk about public safety, if it's
Hmm.
dark, people are not going to feel safe. So we definitely have to improve our lighting, which is a component of public safety and everything. So I see a productive. Uh,
Yeah, that's a big complaint of mine. Why is it always so dark in Tulsa?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So me as city councilor, I see development. I see economic development improving. I see a more diverse community working together uh, on the behalf of District One. That's another thing. So I mean, I have a lot of ideas, and oh man,
Hmm.
I'm excited to win, to put these things in place because I want to be that city councilor that even when I want to even or when I want to, let's say, go for a higher office if that's in my future, if that's the purpose and the pattern of my life, um,
Hmm.
I would definitely. I'm just, I mean, yeah, I mean for sure. It, I mean, I would be the one that they would say, no, please don't go, please, because of the good work and because of the improvement in their
Hmm.
lives and in their families' lives, their children's lives. They wouldn't. I would be that city council. They say, no, we don't. We do not want you to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That,
Okay.
that,
I got
that's
two
my
more
goal.
questions and yeah.
That's my goal.
Yeah. I got two more questions and we're gonna get out of here. First one is how is like what's your strategy getting people out to vote? Like your campaign strategy? It's gonna be like door knocking or social media or a mixture of all those things.
Yes, a mixture of all those things. And with an emphasis on registering voters that's not registered to vote, and
Hmm.
then those that are registered to vote and haven't been voting.
Yeah.
That is the key point, I believe, of winning this campaign. And
Yeah.
it's social media, door knocking, all of those things, all entailed in that. But we know that door knocking is very essential to the campaign, but definitely very, very, very important to
Mm.
register those and to encourage those uh, non-registered voters to vote, and the ones that just is disappointed in voting to encourage them and tell them why they should vote for me. So that is the main strategy is those registering those to vote and those that are registered and haven't been voting to vote.
Okay. The last one, we're gonna get out of here. What's your why? What pushes you? Why are you doing this? Why Mario Johnson for this position?
Yeah. So the reason why I'm running is because I have a passion for the district. growing up in it for years and seeing what it can be now and what is the shortcomings. I believe that I have a good perspective on this district and good ideas that I can lead this district into success. And I also believe that, like I said, youth is so important to me in our community and throughout history. I can say for quite a few years anyway, we have had a lot of well, we didn't have some violence, gangs, things like that. Things are getting a little better, but it needs to get even better. So then that's also, like I say, public safety and I believe coming from my background, things like that, I have what it takes, the know-how, the solutions, and if I don't have all of the solutions, I know the people to sit down at the table with to put our heads together to come out with a good solution to the issues, to the problems when it comes to those type of initiatives and situations. So definitely, I would be the one to. There needs to be a change. There needs to be someone that come from where I come from, is what I'm
Hmm.
saying. To be able to
Yeah.
relate to the grassroots, be able to relate to those regular people. I'm just saying, as an example, people that's not into politics. They just go to work and come home, focus on raising the family, trying to get by, and things like that. And so someone like me understands. I've been there. I know how it feels to be homeless. I know how it feels to be hungry. I know how it feels to be less fortunate, to be an outcast, to be treated like one, put it that way. So I know how it feels, and I know the transformation that it would take to change those things, just like I transformed my life and the transformation I went through. And with that same, I would say, consistency, with that same passion that that I uh, that I have and had when I went through the transformation of my own life, I will use those same skills to help transform District 1.
Okay. And where could everyone find you? Your social medias, your campaign website.
Yes. So my social media, you can find me at Mareo Johnson. And then my campaign website is mareoforchange.com. That's Mareo, the number four, for change, of course, at .com. You can find
Hmm?
me there. You can also Facebook. You can also find me there, Mario for Change, District 1 City Council.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.